HBO's new drama, Westworld, explores humanity in a futuristic world that may not be so far away. Its story centers around a Wild West theme park where visitors can pay to live out their fantasies. Robots are programmed by people to serve the human guests.
Actress Thandie Newton plays one of the robot hosts, a madam named Maeve. Here's a preview of Sunday's episode.
What are these nightmares you have about? Do you ever dream you're someone else?
I don't think so. Why?
You ever thought about whether this is really the life you want?
I don't intend to make this my life's work. No offense.
Oh, I love that girl. Angela, who plays a Clementine. We had the most divine actors on the show. We do have the most divine actors on the show.
And we have you here on our show. Thandie Newton is here with us. Thank you so much for coming by.
It's a pleasure.
We are such fans. All right, so everybody knows on this show, and people who watch CBSN know that I'm a huge nerd about all things science fiction, but this show I'm obsessing over. I've watched every episode at least 3 different times. Your character is...
You're frightening me right now.
Maybe I'm here. When you signed on to this project, for us as fans, we're discovering things. Many times producers don't tell the actors what's going to happen so that you discover things along the way. Has that been your experience here?
I was told the premise of the show and the journey that my character would go on, but the finer points, the details, the plot twists, no, not always. And sometimes they wouldn't tell us things precisely because our characters wouldn't know those things, so it's better for us to be innocent of them. Yeah, so it's really fun, actually. So, you know, every week we'd discover what was going to happen the following week, and we'd all be in the makeup trailer just like, oh my God, this is so exciting! Especially Evan, Rachel Wood and myself, because it tended to be when I was working, she had a day off, and vice versa. So whenever we saw each other, it would just be, you're so amazing, what you're doing in the show! You know, it's great.
This concept in sci-fi, in the genre, the idea of the machines gaining consciousness, it's not new, but this show has people obsessed. You know what I mean? So there's a reason why people are drawn to this in a way that they haven't been drawn to other shows with the same sort of theme. What do you think it is about this?
I think because what we're experiencing now in the world, across the world, a lot of the parallels are in Westworld, and it's about betrayal. It's about how much are we being lied to? How much are we being programmed through marketing, through the media, and what is real and what isn't real. And I think that those parallels are obviously themes in the show, and I think they're allowing people to really sort of consider those things in their own lives, in their own societies, with their own governments and so on. And doing it with characters that are just so arresting. You know, I understand why people love Maeve, because she is fighting for her freedom, and I can really understand why that touches people now.
Yeah, but because what's so fascinating is you play a very powerful character when you're in Westworld, but when you're in the reality world and you're stripped naked, you're even more powerful in that way.
But also in the most threatening environment.
Right, because you're sort of exposed.
Terrible trauma.
Right.
Terrible trauma. I mean, to see what happens to these hosts when they're not up there in Westworld, they're treated like carcasses of meat.
Right.
And that betrayal is just cuts deep. In a way, I think that betrayal is what kind of busts her electronics.
Right.
You know, it's so intense that it just blows up her wiring. I mean, that's not actually true, but...
No, but yeah, the idea that you're constantly being, the host body is constantly being traumatized over and over and over again.
Being traumatized, but then being wiped.
Right.
Wiped clean. We can't be wiped clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd like to be sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we try.
I try.
Darling, we try.
Yeah.
We try with alcohol, we try with drugs, we try with every kind of addiction. Not you, but, you know, okay. But, you know, addictions are about trying to wipe the slate, trying to just separate yourself from the reality. And it is legion. Everybody has some kind of addiction. Mine's not shoes.
Oh, check out those shoes.
Nice.
I don't know if we can get a camera on
I'm
there.
not addicted to
Those
shoes.
are awesome.
Okay, anyway. We're in this state of trying to numb ourselves from reality, and unfortunately, you can numb yourself from reality, but reality is going to take over. Yeah. And I think in some ways what we're seeing, you know, in Britain with Brexit and here with your current, you know, election, we're suddenly waking up to the reality, and we've all been asleep.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, you have a tendency to pick characters and projects that have some weight to them, that have some sort of commentary. But you're having fun. No, you do not, because your body of work is great.
It's incredible.
So I want to talk about that. You know, is that? Don't
carry
worry
on.
about it.
Yeah, I don't need this.
You don't need the voices.
I don't need to
in your
hear.
head.
I don't need to hear.
Have them already in Westworld.
Yeah, exactly.
Arnold is.
I know what
Arnold.
you're thinking. I know what you're going to ask me next.
I'm going to. Well, you have a serious question.
Yes,
but I have
But
an
you
Arnold
were about to flatter me about my work,
Yes.
and I appreciate
Yes,
that.
in the midst of that.
And I deflected it because I'm British. So
Right. And I was going to ask you,
There
in
it goes.
choosing this project as well, was that part of it? You know, was that?
Oh,
you-
I fell on this like a hungry beast.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of my life is given to activism. Violence against women, children, and I. Honestly, when I went to work on Westworld every day, I didn't have to leave that behind. I felt like I was investing in my passion for activism, because that's what Westworld is also trying to do, I think.
When you see, you just mentioned briefly our election, you talked about Brexit. Some of the things that Donald Trump has said, now President-elect Trump said on the campaign trail, specifically with regards to women, what went through your mind? You have children.
Yeah, I have 2 daughters. What's going through my mind is that, I would love to see Donald Trump go to Westworld and meet Maeve. And if he tried to reach for her, that would be interesting.
I don't think you'd be able to do that.
No.
I think she might let him just so that she could then respond.
That's amazing. What does your tattoo say?
Oh.
It's so cute, but I don't know what it says.
No, sure. It says Rusununguko, which is my mother's first language. She's from Zimbabwe. It's a Shona word, which means freedom. And I got this the day we finished Westworld's
Can you
first
show it to the
season.
camera?
So this is
Show it for-
new.
That is so cool.
Because I felt so utterly liberated by having played this woman, and I was so grateful to my mother for the strength that she has given me in fighting a lot of the discrimination and difficulties in my life. And I finished Westworld, and I felt like all of those things were behind me, and that's why I have my tattoo,
That is
to honour my mum and me.
But you should know that when in the roles that you play, specifically in this one, that a lot of people now look to you, and there is some solace that people take in art. I mean, that's I'm
That's what
known
art's
for being a nerd. Yeah,
it's there to share important ideas, and it's there to digest important ideas, and so that we don't feel alone.
Thandie Newton, it's such an honor having you here with us.
It's
Thank
been
you very
great. Thank
much.
you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Well, we are back after a quick break.
That was great.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I'll be all right.